All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the HFC HellfireComms Sonic-a-thon 2. We are here with Sonic Advance 1, 2, and 3 today. We're running through all of them. And why don't you tell us a little bit about who we are and what we're doing there, my co-commentator, Flame?
I can indeed do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here raising money for the charity Child's Play. Child's Play are a charity who provide toys and games to children who are in the hospital long term to ease their stay a little bit. If you'd like to chip in and contribute to the cause, you can either click the donate button just below the stream, or I can use this handy little prompt that Spar set up. You can click through to the Tiltify page there to donate. We're currently at $3,254.69. Nice. If we manage to get to $4,000, then we'll add on a fourth incentive day to the marathon, where I'll be playing Sonic Unleashed for the Wii. So if you'd like to see some 480p art, as I described it on the page, then that's what we've got to do. We also have a raffle ongoing for a copy of Sonic Origins. So if you'd like to be entered into that, it's $5 per entry, and you just let me know either in your donation message or in chat that you'd like to be entered, and I can add you onto the list there. But Tanner, I noticed we have a revolutionary new feature in this game, don't we? We have a feature that lets you jump off the ground.
Yes, when we first ran this, the game decided, no, sorry, we're going to get rid of your jump button, despite the fact that you can use the A button in menus. So I switched it over to the randomly included Japanese controls, where B is to, jump in, A is your melee attack, which I never use in this game. And so now we can actually move, and that's very important in a Sonic game, to be able to jump.
Yeah, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your setup here, because I did notice Tails is here with us, which he isn't usually.
Tails is not usually in this game as a character that joins Sonic here. You can put in a code on the character select screen, which is done by pressing up, right, down, right, L, right, R, right, enter, and you hear a little ring noise, and it unlocks Sonic 2 mode here, which lets Tails run with you, which I just like to do just because it's nostalgic, and I discovered that cheat as a kid, and I was like, it was cool, because it was one of those easy cheats to do, so I could show my friends. They'd be like, wow, you could do this thing that makes some bosses harder and some bosses easier.
Oh, is it one of them situations where Tails can get in the way sometimes?
Sometimes, like, you'll go to hit a boss and Tails will hit him first, then you'll be in the iframes, but other times he's useful because, he gets the hits, period.
Yeah, that is staying faithful to Sonic 2 in all ways.
Mm-hmm.
So how does getting the Chaos Emeralds work in this? If you're playing it legitimately, there is a special spring in each of the stages. If you go on that, it will fire you up to a special stage. Like, the main challenge is finding it. We're not doing that. We have a cheat code, because that's quite time consuming. We're trying to do all three games back to back. So for all of these, we do have little workarounds one way or another to get the good ending without showing everything off on stream.
Yeah, and much as I love these games, I really do, I find the Sonic Advance special stages, all of them, to be unbearable.
I don't disagree. In fairness, the Advanced 2 ones, the special stages themselves are fun enough, but god, it takes fucking ever to get to them, because you got to get all the rings in a stage in that game.
Yeah, it's basically do one perfect run of a stage, which I am not a fan of as a concept.
And it goes against the idea of what I want from Sonic, having to stop and look around for things. Yeah, the Eggmobile is kind of tiny in this game. We'll see all three true final bosses in these runs. It's just we'll be using either cheats or pre-made save files to show them off. Yep.
No, because I'm running this through RetroArch, which is my kind of go-to all-in-one emulator engine, and it has built-in cheat codes, so with the press of a button I just can unlock all the emeralds, and that's really nice.
Good stuff. Now, what do we think of Secret Base Zone? Because this has a quite different look to a lot of the second stages that we're used to in Sonic games.
I like the spy theme soundtrack to it. It gives it a very cool aesthetic. It's kind of like if it didn't have the music, it'd be really boring. But by adding that and with the the rope pulleys there, it is just cool because it feels like you're infiltrating an Eggman base, and I appreciate that.
It works well with the setup because we had the searchlight sort of effect going on as well.
Yeah.
I am a little bit disappointed. I haven't heard that many covers or remixes of this particular song, which is a shame. Because the hang-up I know that I have a bit of a reputation for shitting on the GBA stuff. It's not so much the pieces of music themselves that I dislike. I just find that the GBA's sound chip itself is a bit too limited, and the problem you have is that although they're trying to do some really cool shit with the instrument layers and whatnot, it ends up just sounding like a mushed together mess of noises most of the time.
Yeah, there's a reason that when these songs, any of the Game Boy Advance songs got brought back in Sonic Generations, they had these synthesized remixes because, yeah, they're mostly held back by the platform itself.
Yeah, and some of the ones that I really like is in one of the Olympics games. They had some rearrangements of some of the GBA songs. Unfortunately, not this one, but there's a really cool remix of Leaf Forest, and there's also a really cool remix of Route 99 as well.
Where in the timeline do the Sonic Advance games take place? I don't know. That's honestly, it is such a nothing thing in my eyes. They could be anywhere. These could just be it could be like Sonic 4, where it's still in the classic timeline, but it just has a different art style.
Maybe, although just the general feel of the games, it does feel very much like we're into Adventure Sonic now.
Yeah, the only thing that we know is that it has to be battle has to either be before all of it or before 3. That's the only point of reference, and that's just because of Gemerl there.
Yeah.
Which we'll be getting him later.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing no damage runs on the stream today. Apologies in advance for that.
I find with Advance 1, it's not too bad in terms of difficulty in general, but some of the stuff in Advance 2 is, which you're going to be running, there's some cheapo bullshito later, definitely.
I like the levels a lot in Advance 2, but the bosses definitely the weak point. And I'll explain this properly when we get into the game itself, but I will be operating on if it goes tits up, I'm switching to cream approach, just to be on the safe side.
That's 100% valid. Oh yeah.
According to the Sonic Heroes GameCube manual, it took place after Sonic Battle. Interesting.
I actually do have a lot of these stages quite memorized because I would actually run through this game over and over and over when I was a kid to get rings for the Tiny Chow Garden.
Yes, that is something that shows up in these games. The Tiny Chow Garden can link to the GameCube. If you have a GameCube copy of Sonic Adventure DX or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, you can trade your Chow around. It was pretty neat, actually, and if you're feeding up your Chow in the Tiny Chow Garden, it's very easy to overpower them because you don't really think about it. You just keep stuffing their face full of all the different fruits you can get in this game.
Oh yeah.
And then when you send them over to the GameCube games to have them do races or karate or whatever, it's like, yeah, this Chow still looks like a baby Chow, but it's broken as fuck.
Ooh. A lot of springs there.
I think I'm the only one who isn't the biggest fan of the Advanced series. I feel like it's one of these series that you either like a lot or it just doesn't scratch that itch for you. You could go either way, to be fair.
It comes down to this question. Did you grow up with it? If yes, you probably like it. If not, probably don't. And both are fine. It's how it goes.
Like, in fairness though, I feel like these games are accessible enough that you can just pick them up, and it's not classic Sonic exactly. If you're going in expecting this to be Sonic 4, then maybe it's not what you're expecting. But I feel like if you go into it expecting a Dimps Sonic game, you'll get a Dimps Sonic game and you'll be happy.
I mean, I do feel it's more Sonic 4 than the actual Sonic 4.
Well, I mean, yeah, but true.
Sonic Pocket Adventure? That'd be interesting to be later on in the marathon, perhaps.
Yep, is that you or Snake running that? I can't remember.
That's me.
No, that's fun. I actually do kind of like that game a fair bit. It's only really the special stages I'm not a fan of. Not even because they're hard or anything, but because they go on for so bloody long. Like, when I was putting together my long play of Sonic Pocket Adventure, I'm pretty sure it was like 40 minutes long, and about 10 minutes of those were just the special stages.
Oh, so it's literally what Sonic Blast was.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, with Mega Man Zero, I think the DS port of those games did fix up the music a bit, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So that's probably the better way to play those games.
Well, now you got the HD package of them.
That's true, actually. How well did that port across? Because I saw screenshots from that had the ugly filter on.
It's optional, thankfully.
Oh, that's good.
and that was like when they announced the Battle Network collection. I was like, I love Battle Network, and then I saw that filter, and I'm like, oof. And then I got the PR email that said it's optional, and then showed it being optional, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, like, who is the one guy who actually asks for that?
I know more than a few people, and it's like, they're all like, well, I just don't like to see the pixels. And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, when you see pixels, it's bad. So by turning on the filter, you don't see pixels, and that means it's HD, right? I'm like, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about.
See, that argument was made specifically to fuck with me, and I know it.
And it's yeah. The only thing is, with the Battle Network collection, it's looking like the text won't be able to go back to the old font, because they actually can't program in the new localizations that are coming. So instead, they're literally just pasting over the dialogue running the Japanese ROM. So every version has its own sort of engine running on top to do the dialogue in every language.
Cautious about that, I will say.
This is a neat little thing. You don't use the attack very often in this game, but you can, if he's coming up or down, hit him with the attack here, and you'll hit him inside of the barrel here.
That's good, although it still looks like this has got to be one of the more annoying bosses in this game, just because there is still waiting around for him to show up.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty much just doing this over and over. Yeah, easy peasy.
That worked.
Again, I've run through this game a lot as a kiddo, so I picked up a lot on those strats.
Still got twatted by that, though.
And it's nice, because with Tails, he copies your inputs, so he also starts slashing away.
Oh, no.
Oh, Snow Mountain.
This level's hella pretty.
It's pretty, but it also, I look at this and I'm like, I can literally, for 8 months of the year, look outside and this is what it looks like.
Basically. We only usually get like a week or so of it over here, but when we do, our entire country shits the bed.
I have Tails with me through a cheat code. It's pretty simple. You just put in basically almost the Konami code as you are loading the game there. So it's a pretty known cheat code. It's on like websites, and I learned about it from like some game cheats book that I got while I was a kid in school.
Oh, you had a game cheats book and the cheat actually worked. That's new.
Well, of course, most of them worked because they literally are just ripped right from GameFAQs. They literally took the GameFAQs cheat sections and simply copied them into a book which is like the biggest hustle.
Yeah, they found a way to monetize other people's work before Let's Plays were a thing.
And I mean, the only problem is there are fake codes on, GameFAQs as well, and those are there.
Of course. Like, it kind of makes me think of how I think Google caught Bing ripping their search results by just adding in a couple of dummy ones.
Yep. Yeah, and that's really funny.
Yeah, and also there's something I found out a little while ago. There's a trick that map makers do sometimes, where when they print their map, they will just add in like a completely fictional town in the middle of nowhere, just out of curiosity to see which other publishers are just stealing their map. And when I first found out about that, I was cracking the fuck up because I was just looking something up completely unrelated and fell down a rabbit hole of that kind of shit.
It's like, how people watermark their memes now. It's the same thing, but with, actually stuff that matters to society.
Oh, watermarking memes is one thing I will never fucking get. That kind of goes against the point of a meme that's meant to be shared around.
The worst was I saw someone was sharing pictures of like the One Punch Man manga, and they literally were watermarking their username on just basic screenshots like of the manga from the website, and when called out, they're like, "That's not your art." He's like, "Yeah, but this is my reaction to the art, and I don't want people stealing my reaction." And everyone was calling this guy. I was like, "You're insane." He's like, "Yeah, but the live commenter community is like it's ruthless," and everyone's like, "What the frick are you talking about?"
It's like, I know everyone was ripping into like reaction videos a few years ago where it was just like one guy in the corner of the screen just sort of letting the video play in whole.
Yeah, and then he says nothing. It's man, there's a whole side of the internet that I just don't get.
Basically, yeah. Because like, it's going on again on Twitch these days, isn't it? Like, there's been a bit of controversy about how many streamers as a business strategy, when like they'll stream all day, even like when they need to go and get something to eat or whatever, and like whenever they're away from the keyboard, they will just let a TV show play in the background, and didn't seem to understand why they were getting DMCA claims off the back of that.
So funny.
And like, this isn't just like a guy. These are like the most viewed Twitch streamers with like thousands of followers doing this shit. And it's just like an entirely different culture.
Yeah.
Oh, we know Australia doesn't exist. Australia's not real. Like, people claim that there's this thing called gravity that pulls everyone down. But also, apparently there's a country on the bottom and the people don't fall off. I'm not quite sure I'll buy that, POTK.
Yeah, have you ever like tipped a glass upside down? Water goes out. So like, how can the earth be round if there's not water falling off?
Basically.
We're joking. These are jokes. Please don't take this seriously. The fact that I have to preface, because there are people who would... oof.
I follow a handful of Flat Earther accounts. I love them so much. My favourite one is the idea that it's a cover for hiding rare minerals and rare metals, like out just past where the ice wall is.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like they tell people that there's nothing there, and it just keeps going round in a ball, just so they don't go and find the stash of gold that the elites are keeping there.
This boss is kind of annoying.
We should stop putting Flame and Tanner together on streams.
Oh, cool. Thought I'd get air from that.
I think you're gonna drown.
Nope, I'm good. Yeah, this boss is annoying if you're Sonic, because you'd think, oh, I have the insta shield, should be able to get enough with him, but no, it just gives you a slight boost. You don't get enough to for sure get him with it. And he can't, if you send up tails by mashing, oh my god, it actually does hit him sometimes. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Go on, Tails, you got this.
That's so good, actually. Okay, I need to Get air. Do it, buddy! Yeah! Yeah!
Go on, keep going! Oh, he's giving up.
Yeah! He do it!
Nice one, Tails. And Sonic helped, I guess.
Sonic made sure he wasn't drowning.
Yeah, because that is kind of the game for this boss when you're playing it legit, in that you kind of got two things that you gotta pay attention to, both your health, like whether you're drowning or not, and the thing. And when you get a groove going of just jumping up and hitting him, it can be very easy to forget not to let yourself drown.
Mm-hmm.
So this level's where it starts getting a bit dimpsy from what I recall.
Yeah, and I was gonna say this level and the similar looking level in Advance 2 are where the Dimps feel gets big.
I think I prefer this one a little bit visually, but the Advance 2 one a little bit gameplay-wise, because this one has a lot of shit like what's happening right now, where it's just a little bit awkward platforming-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not to say the Advance 2 one doesn't have bullshit, because that one, it's more a case of it speeds you right up, and then just sticks either a pit of spikes or a bottomless pit there.
There's more than one where you'll get super fast, and then if you don't jump in a specific way, you just fly off and die.
Yeah, they all have their specific quirks. Like, this one, it's this sort of thing going on. Advance 2 is, it speeds you right up and then throws you in a pit. And Advance 3 is just, things will crush you from off screen, or it'll speed you up and there'll be an enemy in the middle of the track that you had no way of seeing coming. Stuff like that.
Mm. Dimps!
Yeah, that was a Dimps moment.
I do agree that I think out of all of them, I like Advance 1's level design the most.
That's fair. I personally prefer the way Advance 2 just has that sense of extreme speed, though. That's kind of where I am with when it comes to Sonic stuff.
I do like Advance 2, and I guess I should say, like, I started with Advance 2, then got Advanced 1, because I actually found a copy of Advance 2 while I was at school, and it was on the ground, and everyone just assumed it was my game, because everyone was like, oh, it's a Sonic, so that's probably Tanner's game. And then I looked around, and I'm like, okay, everyone gave me this game, whose is it? And I looked around, could never find whose it was. Ended up being this girl who bullies me. It was her game, and so I just said, okay, it's mine now. This is revenge.
Understandable.
Was it the right thing to do? Absolutely not. Was it better because in the end I'm the gamer and she's not? Yes. I deserved it more.
Yeah, gamers rise up. We need our games.
Later on then I did buy the Sonic Advance and Sonic Pinball Party. Yeah, not Spinball, but Pinball Party double pack. So I have that there.
I'm curious, what do you think of Advance 3?
I only played it via emulation, and I didn't love it. I thought the character stuff was cool, but the actual level designs and even how you unlock levels, I was not a big fan of.
Yeah, I think it is definitely the weakest of the three, but it's one of those games that there are a handful of people who, they don't just like it, they really like it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just one of those ones that, like, I don't have any problem with people feeling that way, I just kind of don't get it.
Yeah, I know, if someone was like, oh, it's my favorite, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Versus there's other ones where if I hear someone says their favorite, I go, like, what are you smoking, and where can I get some, and is it legal here?
Yeah, they used to do a handful of double packs on the GBA, like there were Sonic ones, and there were quite a few with the whole like GBA video thing where you would get 2 different episodes of Sonic on the cart.
You have to remember, like, back in the day, we had the Sonic and Garfield double pack on PC. Like, Sonic and double packs
True.
just go hand in hand. So, weirdly, only Sonic and Amy can grind in this game. No other characters can. It's a strange quirk.
And one thing that you will notice with how the grind trails work is that you have to jump on them at the start of the grind trail. You can't just jump on it partway through. And that took some getting used to the first time I played this, given I'd just come off of playing Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know how this is supposed to work, but it's not.
I think they fixed that in Advance 2, where not only can everyone go on it, you can go halfway on.
They didn't change it entirely, it's just they made the starting sections bigger for a lot of the grind trails, so it's easier to get onto.
Oh, that'd probably be it too. Yeah, instead of this absolutely tiny little thing.
Yeah. Yeah, in fairness, Chaos Angel is pretty fucking cool. I'm not too keen on the level design itself, but it looks really cool. And if you find some remixes of the theme, I really like those as well.
It's also a sick name. That would be like someone's DeviantArt username.
It probably is. chaosangel.deviantart.com. Oh, it's empty.
Nah.
They haven't made anything. They've had this account for 20 years though, Jesus Christ.
That's wild. That account can legally drive and vote.
How old's my one now? I'm curious.
I should have died. I should have been crushed.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. My account, I just looked on it, deviant for 16 years.
Oof.
I remember having to lie about my age to make that account because I wasn't 13 yet.
Very cool. One kind of interesting thing is this game does have an easy mode toggle in the options, and all it does is remove certain types of badniks. Everything else is unchanged.
Huh.
Like, these dudes aren't here, and they just have the basic enemies instead.
Oh, so it's immediately made the game better. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not. I kind of preferred it. It gets rid of everyone that is annoying. Like in the Carnival one, it gets rid of the lizards that shoot the fireworks that will always kill you.
Like, Sonic Rush has an easy mode too, and what that does is it just makes the bosses take a couple less hits. And honestly, given how long those bosses go on, that's kind of just makes the game better.
Yeah.
Can it remove Dimps? I don't think so.
I honestly, I don't hate Dimps for, like, their Sonic stuff. It's just not as good as some of the other stuff, but at the same time, I'd say most of their stuff is what I would call solid.
Dimps have some genuinely great games. They also have Lost World 3DS.
Oh, yeah, okay, no, that's fair. But then again, like I said, I don't think any, like, 3DS Sonic games can even approach, like, anything even of the DS era.
That's fair, although I will say I do like both generations 3DS and Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice wasn't Dimps, right?
No, it wasn't, but like it's just as a 3DS Sonic game that I like.
Fire and Ice is surprisingly solid.
It is. It's very short, and that's one thing to bear in mind. So it's not the sort of game I would pay full price for, but for it's there, it is fun. Yeah, Fire and Ice was Sanzaru games. And they also did Shattered Crystal, which... that's just a game that I never got around to beating fully. I just sort of got bored of how many times it would ask you to go back to a previous level just to get more of them shard things.
Yeah.
It's like, it was another like hour and a half long game that they decided to drag out, and it was worse for it.
See, this is the level design I hate. You're like, okay, I'm gonna jump off here, and then, oh, there's spikes.
Yeah.
Now you fall. And if you did it like I did before, you jump up there, then there's a spring, and then you fall. And it's like, well, shoot, that's just annoying.
There's quite a fair bit of that, yeah.
Just trying to avoid the bottom of the stage. Dimps did not make Chronicles, that was BioWare.
Yeah. We decided not to include that game in the marathon for reasons you can probably guess, involving it being tediously boring. But we do have a playthrough of that on the channel. And like I say, it's boring to watch live, but I actually don't hate Chronicles. Don't know about you.
Yeah. I'm really not a fan of it. It's definitely where I played, because I had a straight up just R4 chip that let me install DS games to my DS, and so I played like 99% of DS games like that. And so like I remember playing it, and like nothing about it made me want to keep playing it. And since it was free, I had no obligation. I spent money.
Yeah. To me, it's like I went into it years and years later. Oh, we're doing a special stage, okay. I went into it years and years later, so I went into it expecting the absolute worst thing imaginable, and what I got was a game that's okay. So it's like I was pleasantly surprised rather than being let down, and that probably had a big part of it.
So I'm going to show this off because I accidentally jumped into it. I didn't even know it was there. But don't expect me to get anything, because these are... The depth on these is the worst out of almost anything I've played for Sonic. I cannot judge where things are.
Yeah, it's this sort of 3D-ish layout that doesn't really work on the GBA, because it's very hard to actually show depth or perspective.
Yeah. I legitimately, I've never gotten all the Chaos Emeralds because I can't tell where things are relative in 3D space.
Yeah, it's like when usually you would use lighting cues and shadows in 3D spaces to help you with that, but you can't exactly do that on the GBA. So you end up with just sprites layering all over the top of each other.
Yeah, and now if I would want to redo that, I'd have to redo the entire stage again. Oh
yeah,
boy.
Let's not do that.
Nope. And that's why we're using cheats to get all the emeralds.
I would like an advanced collection a lot, actually, similar to Origins, if they stretched them out to widescreen and just, made it run a little bit smoother, with the extra touches they added in Origins, extra frames of animation and whatnot. I think that could be beautiful.
I do think they decompiled at least Advance 1, and so a widescreen, native PC port is something that is in the works.
I did hear about that, yeah. I just kind of wish that Sega would do something with games from this era as well as, Mega Drive games.
Yeah.
Because they sure like re-releasing Sonic 1.
Yeah. They thought it was something because I think this game is published by, some other... I think it's THQ is the publisher for this game. And THQ went under, so they were under the assumption, well, if THQ went under and they were the publisher for these games, which is weird to think about, then they can't re-release them because there is no THQ anymore, right? But that is not the case. They've confirmed, no, they own the full rights to it.
Yeah, I think THQ published Advance 3. I'm not sure about the other two. It's like, that's the thing, there's so many of these other Sonic games that they basically never re-release, and it feels like a missed opportunity given everyone owns Sonic 1 multiple times at this point, but the advanced games, that was a whole period in time that a lot of people probably missed, and if they were to pick that up, it would feel like they're getting a new Sonic game now. So, you might as well re-release it.
It's Yellow Glove Knuckles, back from Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, it did get released on the Wii U, these games, but only in Japan for some reason.
That's why some people think it might be the THQ rights, because that's not in Japan.
Possibly, yeah. That might have been the case back then, given THQ was sort of still around back then, I think. I can't actually remember the timeline that well.
Another one where Tails is very helpful, because he just gets those extra hits on super crazy Metal Knuckles. Or Robuckles, as Tom calls him in chat.
Jesus.
egg rocket.
This level has such a cool outside aesthetic.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just a shame that it becomes a maze level when you get inside, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, and not just a maze. Isn't it maze plus timed? Yeah, the timer changes. Now it's a count down instead of a count up. You have 5 minutes to get to the next section because it's literally like a multi-layer rocket. And so with the multi-layer rocket, you got to get there before the layer gets cut away.
Yeah.
It's a cool concept. I mean, again, there's some creativity here, which is like, it's nice because this kind of, oh, this is death. Kind of comes from that era of, you know, where a lot of Sonic games would just be like, you know, we do the, wow.
Well done,
the same level themes, you know, again. Okay, I'm dealing with this boyo here. There we go.
I mean, I guess you're right in that it's an evolution of Metropolis Zone, but I like that the level theme is distinct enough that it doesn't just feel like Metropolis again.
Yeah, I mean, you got a little bit of, at the bottom, you get a little bit of Wing Fortress and stuff with going up, you know, around the bottom. And then you go other places as you go up. I see it's sort of a combination of all them, and oh god, oh, the Dimps.
I knew
the
that
Dimps.
was going to happen.
Oh, Dimpsy.
But yeah, that's something that I kind of wish they would do more. They've had a few cases where they've done it, where they sort of blend together different level tropes. Because it just makes it feel a lot more distinct than just ticking a box of like, you know, we have a grassland level, we have an ice level, you know? Although you do still get situations like in Lost World where on the surface it looks like they're mixing the tropes, but in reality it's just like, oh, we know this is the ice level, but fuck it, we'll stick a casino level in.
Or when they go from desert to dessert just because of wordplay that only works in English.
Yep, and not only that, but also the fact that it's a dessert level that is really fucking boring to look at, it's even compared to the standard def version in colours that came before it.
Thankfully, we're out of the bottom. That's it. Like this is a pure, you know, tower sort of stage. So we are gonna go up and up and up.
Okay.
Whoop. Can you stop running, please, Sonic?
You are asking a lot of him right now. Yeah, that's the other thing with Lost World. Everything looks like just a recoloured Windy Hill.
Yeah.
When are we playing Lost World, actually? Let me check. We'll be doing that on the 4th of July, and I named the day on our document as Lost Cause because I don't think that highly of Lost World.
Dang.
But yeah, given we did beat the target for that, what I will be doing at the end of the Lost World HD run is I'll be showing off the bonus levels on the Wii U version of that. So that will be the Yoshi level, the Knights level, and the Zelda level. So I have all those downloaded on my Wii U still.
Shoutouts to the fact that those are in the Steam version, just locked away, so people just flipped a toggle as a mod, and now you can play them on the Steam version.
God, the Steam version of Lost World is like one of the most bare bones ports I've seen. It just feels so tacked together in like basically every way.
It was the first, like, Sonic Steam game to just get randomly thrown on there after we thought everything was going to be exclusive to the Wii U. It was just out of nowhere, I remember.
Yeah, it feels like maybe just their exclusivity clause had worn out and they're just like, fuck it, slap it up, why not?
Yeah.
But the thing, like, it feels like such a sloppy port because, like, visually it doesn't really have any PC enhancements that you would expect from a PC port. And things like just the general layout, the UI and whatnot just feel very tacky. And I also find it funny how there was a bit of controversy because the window that pops up to show you the controls, like when you're using the 360 controller, they ripped that from DeviantArt.
Oh, of course.
Like, it's just a concept art someone made of a controller that looks like an Xbox controller and they just pasted that in because fuck it, why not?
I always find those to be funny when they use fan art accidentally and stuff, because you can literally tell that it was just some employee grabbing it as a placeholder, and then there was not placeholder. It ended up being the real thing when the people working on it were freaking dimps.
Yeah.
You know, when they didn't get a thing to actually put in the, you know, they looked it over and were like, that's fine. It's like, wait, no, that's we don't own that. No, it's fine. Ship it.
I like it when you get fan art that it's clearly there by a pure mistake because it's so convincing. Like, I've seen a few of the fan art, like Sonic pictures that are drawn in the official Sonic style get tweeted by official Sonic accounts before, and like the one that gets done a lot, you want to go up here I think.
Oh yeah.
And the one that gets done a lot is that fan-made Sonic Forces logo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one. The one where you can tell it's the Fang one because like the letter R in the typing is just a little bit wider than it's supposed to be, like in the official font.
Mm-hmm.
But they've used that on so many different official posters and promotional art now by pure accident.
One of my favorites is when Mega Man 10 was announced. The official website used assets from the fan game Mega Man 10 because they just Googled like stuff from it, and then they used that, which is wild because that is just Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the audio, that's Discord there. It'll be fixed there.
Okay. Oh, apparently audio from the game's bugging out as well.
Yeah, I think again it's just the Twitch there.
Okay, it sounds okay on my end on screen share, so I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, that's been happening with me streaming the whole time.
Okay. No, well, we'll have to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool! Just kill my momentum. That's sick. I love it. I was holding the direction, and you were like, no.
The audio's back. That's good.
Yeah, that's a thing that's been happening with me on Twitch. There, it's not much I can do other than say it'll get better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've noticed for a couple of my runs, I feel like my mic audio's been a little bit crackly, and I have absolutely no idea at all what's causing that. Because it literally wasn't happening in any of my recordings up to the start of the marathon. And I just pray to fucking Christ it's not a sound card issue.
Oh yeah.
That's what fucked over my audio on my old computer, my old Mac. It's like every now and then when I was recording stuff, I'd get a lot done, and then I'd go to edit it, and there'd be like this high-pitched squeal over the top of all the audio. And while that wasn't the sole reason I ended up replacing that computer, it was a convenient excuse to.
Yeah. God, this level design, I forgot how dimpsy it got.
No, yeah, it is the peak of this. Okay, I'm hearing a little bit of lagging out on screen share now.
Oh. Again, I'm not hearing it from me, so it might just be, again, the fact that I'm, like, screen sharing plus going to Twitch and all that stuff.
Yeah, got a lot going on, and we are kind of taxing the systems a bit more than we usually would. I do want to apologise for having to drop the Sonic R run yesterday, by the way, guys, because what was basically happening is I'd got a setup for the game running basically perfectly. I had BizHawk set up with a Saturn emulator, which is the same way that I just play the game casually, and it's the same way I've been playing for years now whenever I feel like going back to it. But for some reason I got it set up and ready to go like about half hour before we were due to go live, and just the frame rate tanked entirely and all the music started lagging out. And again, I have no idea why that was happening, but it kind of left me in not the best mood, and I didn't really want to bring that to the stream. So, like I say, I apologise for having to drop it. If you do want to see the game, though, we do have an LP on the channel that we did a little while ago of the Saturn version, and it's probably one of my favourite LPs we've done. So I would recommend checking that out at some point.
And it was, like, that game is very short, so it's not like there was a huge change in schedule.
Yeah, it just meant that Dishy kind of had to carry yesterday by himself, but that was a good rider's run, so it worked out.
Thought that would miss me. I thought that would miss me. That's probably my least favorite thing is when you hit a jump and you can't see where to go, and it's only because there's a moving platform there and it's not where it needs to be for you at the moment.
And it's one of those things that a proper widescreen version would help alleviate, because you'll be able to see more of the screen to know when it's coming.
Yeah, I forgot there's an air dash in this.
Yeah, I forget if there's a homing attack in this game. I know there is in 2.
Like, I forgot if you double tap a direction after jumping, you get a little dash. Because there's the trick system in Advance 2, which is super cool.
Yeah, like the tricks in Advance 2 is just one of my favourite things to just style with Sonic in.
Oh yeah.
Here we go, you got that shoot up like with Scrap Brain into Final Zone, which is a cool little nod back, I think.
Yeah, details, you go, there it goes.
In your own time, Tails. Cosmic Angel, this is the level where we get some gravity shenanigans.
We had a little bit of gravity in the last one there, but nothing too major.
You can work with it. There are a few points where the gravity changes and there's spikes on the ceiling from what I recall, but nothing too egregious.
Boss is gonna suck? This boss isn't too bad, if I recall correctly.
This, I think, is the one where you have to flip him over and then hit him.
Yeah, once you know that, it's not bad. It's one of those ones where you first play and you're like, I don't frickin' know what to do. But once you frickin' know what to do, it's fine.
Apparently there's a shield on the left. Well, we're gonna live on the edge, I think.
Yeah. I like to hang on the edge of tomorrow.
From the works of yesterday?
No idea how I threaded that needle.
Tom suggests putting the save state down just before you start the boss, so maybe...
Oh yeah, I did that for Mecha Knuckles, because I know he's sometimes a bit shady there.
Yeah, fair.
Cool. I think every game could benefit from an air dash. Let's just put them in everything.
Like, any kind of trick system, even if it's completely superfluous, it's just one of those little features that makes the game feel more alive.
Air dashes, parries, every game needs those. Thankfully, Sonic finally got parries. That makes me happy.
See, when it comes to action games, whether they use a parry or a dodge is one of those things that, you might lean one way or the other. I personally prefer dodges to parries, but, your mileage may vary on that.
Gravity. Now, there is a bottomless pit on the ceiling, so you gotta be careful about that, too.
Of course there is. Yep, I remember that spike pit specifically.
That one, too. Oh, hello. Where did Tails go? There he is.
Would it be a genuine strategy to let Tails get hit so he's out of the way for a few frames?
Yes. Okay, yeah, using the dash there is nice, because then you can kind of get away after hitting him.
Yeah, in the later games you can just blitz through with Cream, but unfortunately she wasn't here.
Cream is the slayer of gods in this game. Or, well, these games.
Yeah. I mean, she was kind of OP in Chronicles as well. It's like been an ongoing trend with Cream that she ends up being the OP character.
Thanks, Tails. Come on. You're just giving me such terrible angles. There we go. Horf.
One thing that I did notice is it doesn't seem to have the excessive Dimps ring physics that they had from Rush onward, because that would have made that absolute hell.
Oh, impossible.
Because what that does in Rush, and what also happens in Sonic 4, is that each time you get hit, it spreads the rings further and further away from you. And that makes the final boss in Episode 1 an absolute pain in the ass.
You know, this was novel the first time they did this, where it's like, wow, we're fighting the first boss again.
Yep, this is something that recently they have been really bad at just undermining the whole nostalgia thing, because like we know why they're doing it, and a little bit here and there it works well. People like Generation stories and, you know, shit like that, but at this point it's not a nostalgic throwback to, you know, when you first played the game as a kid. It's just the same thing we did last year.
Right, this was in Sonic 3 Knuckles also, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, they only do the couple. It's alright, I'm giving Tom time to sip some tea, enjoy his evening, you know, read a book. Come on, buddy. Jump over that. Cool! Alright. Oh, that one was a low ball.
Yeah, it seems to vary these up a bit.
Okay. There we go. Got that. Fly at me.
In your own time, Eggman.
There we go.
Okay, maybe he does take a few hits.
Double hit.
Nice one. Try and keep it going.
Ah! Tails! Tails! Ring! Anything! Yes! He got the hit!
Oh!
We're Tails Advance, baby! There he is.
Yeah, he's the only one on screen because he actually deserves the celebration. So this is our bad ending for Sonic Advance.
Mm-hmm. The birds are singing. Pop a save state there. Oh, I don't have my save states binded. Oh no, that's fine. I can just click it from the menu anyways.
Yeah, for people who are watching on YouTube after the fact, we had a bit of an emulation fuckery kind of situation going on, where as soon as Tanner loaded in the cheat to get all the emeralds so we could actually show off this final boss, for some reason it just switched all his controls over again. So we had to go and get another emulator. We're using MGBA now rather than RetroArch, and that means that it looks more vibrant and the picture quality in general is sharper, but we have had to just deal with a few teething issues to make this happen.
I'm not hitting him enough, I'll say that. I need to actually go in and hit him.
But it has kind of a similar issue to what the Advanced 2 final boss has, where it just throws so much at you at once, like there's so much to pay attention to.
This would, like, sensory overload a small Victorian boy.
I mean, Sonic in general would.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
You just gotta get that boost in as you're jumping at him, which is easier said than done, to be fair.
You gotta wait for his arms to go down. Thankfully, that's just free time to get the capsules. Because he's not hitting you with anything else there. Come on!
Yeah, in non-aggression in Advanced 3 you team up with Eggman, although I will say in general I don't think that highly of any of these games' final boss, to be honest. Like, this one is just kind of awkward, Advanced 2 is overwhelming, and non-aggression, while I like the idea, it can be a little bit fiddly.
I was there! Come on, I hit it. These hitboxes are the definition of not great. Chunk of rings.
It's just when you do the big jump and the boost doesn't come out in time that it kind of fucks with you.
Yep. Because you're like, oh, time to do it, and then the bump comes, and you're like, never mind, I guess. It is a very repeatable pattern, at least, right?
Okay, got a couple of hits in, that's good.
Come on, bro. Okay, it's arm time. It's gonna stay back.
Yeah, just buff up your rings again. It's definitely more generous with the rings than Advanced 2 is.
Let's go in for a few hits. Or not. Or not, because this...
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, well done.
Whew. Whew! My hands are sweaty!
Yeah, you can breathe again now.
First try!
Yeah, first try.
Can't believe Sonic's dead.
Rest in peace, Sonic. If a hedgehog and a doctor were on the moon and one killed the other with a rock, would that be fucked up or what? I do like this ending.
It's a little jazzy.
Not so much, like the music's, it's another one of them where it's a good song, but I've heard remixes of it that rescue it from the GBA.
Oh yeah.
But just like the art style here, I think looks quite nice. It's very Sonic 2-ish.
I like to believe that Sonic was on the moon, and he was there for a few days, and then he realized there's no chili dogs there, and said, "That's it, I'm out of here."
Yeah. Alright, so overall, what do you think of Sonic Advance, mate?
It's still just a fun time. Like, just running through it. It's one of the few that I can firmly say, like, yeah, I could just hop in, do a run, and be happy. Obviously not going for the emeralds or going for the true final boss. By the end, I might rage quit on some of the bosses at the end there. But otherwise, yeah, no, I enjoy just playing this and being a kid, grinding it over and over for rings for the super rare Chow eggs. That was something I enjoyed, and I can definitely say I would recommend this to any Sonic fan.
Yeah, I basically agree verbatim there. There's a lot of stuff about this game that is well worth playing. If you enjoy the classics, maybe you want to adjust your expectations a little bit, because it does play different enough that it's not a straight conversion, but it's still a bloody fun Sonic game in its own right. Yeah, it's a little bit slower paced than the other advanced games, but for some people that's probably a good transitional phase. You know, you go from the classics into this and then you're ready for how Advanced 2 will play.
Yeah, Advanced 2 goes way faster, which we'll see very, very quickly.
Yeah, what we'll do is, once you've wrapped up the stream here, I'm going to put up the stream on break screen for a little while, just while I get myself ready and that. So I've been sitting here for a bit longer than I was expecting, given all the tech issues, but hey.
You gonna make sure the jump button works?
No, I'm gonna live on the edge, we'll just hope. I'm using MGBA, so hopefully it won't have any of the fuckery you've had. And again...
See, and it's funny, because, like, RetroArch is literally just a shell for MGBA. I was using MGBA through RetroArch, because it's basically just like a collection of different emulators with a unified shell. And so I have no clue why it was like that.
It's because we're live and we're getting problems we wouldn't otherwise have. That's just how it works.
That's how it works. All right. Well, with that, I say goodbye to you all for a little bit. Flame's gonna go set up. We'll see you then, guys. Have a good one.